We can't worry about being politically correct.
I think you can be correct without needing to be politically correct.
Unfortunately, we're teaching young people that anything that you say that is sort of out of the mainstream think is automatically evil.
Trying to run an issue-oriented campaign.
I think the term itself really kind of refers to what is the language and the terms that are considered most, I think, culturally sensitive at that particular time. Mm-hmm. So like, what is the political climate at that time, and then what are the words that are considered the right words for that?
When I think about being politically correct, I try to temper my speech to get my point across and to get my ideas across, but not to be insulting, not to push my ideas on someone by, pushing down another individual or group.
Well, I'm a pretty firm believer in our First Amendment, which says that Congress shall make no law abridging our freedom of speech, and to me that's pretty comprehensive. That means no one can tell me what I can and can't say in this country.
As far as the wall is concerned, we're going to build a wall, we're going to create a border.
Well, we can give up teaching geography, grammar, and math. Those are pretty hard, but Americans have got to learn how to take a joke.
I think it's more the individual perspective. What does the person you're speaking to consider appropriate versus inappropriate, and having that empathy to interact, know what is a hurtful word versus a non-hurtful word. But I'm not sure who decides at the macro level what's right and wrong.
That's sort of an individual responsibility of a parent and a culture, really. Teaching someone the bounds of proprietary, normal behavior, and kind of enforcing them. That's not the role of a government. That's the role of a society and a family.
I did this line recently in front of an audience, and comedy's where you can kind of feel like an opinion. And they thought, what do you mean gay? What are you talking about gay? What are you saying gay? What are you doing? What do you mean? And I thought, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I think there's this impulse to be angry or to be offended already kind of built into some situations, and people are looking for things to be mad about, as opposed to kind of like, I think that empathy goes two ways, where there's being empathetic to, I want to say words that are not hurtful, but also realizing that someone who's speaking to me may not be trying to hurt me. Maybe they didn't know the right term, or they weren't aware of how it made me feel. Instead of opposed to jumping straight to judgment and anger, there seems to we've lost that middle part where you say, when you say that, it makes me feel this, where it's just immediate, how dare they, and then there's kind of an outrage rather than a thoughtful reaction.
President Bill Clinton in 1994, with Operation Gatekeeper, built new fences at the border with Mexico. Mm-hmm. Last November, you said the following, and I quote, "I voted numerous times when I was a senator to spend money to build a barrier to prevent illegal immigrants from coming in." So, first question, would you commit right now not to use the word illegal or illegals to refer to undocumented immigrants?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was a poor choice of words, and obviously historically and mostly have used undocumented. I haven't used it since. I won't use it in the future.
In the sense that people need to be okay with hearing things that are offensive and hurtful. Doesn't mean you have to talk to that person ever again, but everyone should have the right to say what they feel is most appropriate, and even if it's not. And then I think we as a society have to decide whether or not to listen to those people. But I think everyone has the right to speak their mind.
Again, I think regular social convention says that if you're at a dinner party or something and you're with a group of folks who would be offended by a certain line of questioning or a certain, you want to talk about some certain issue, but it's going to be touchy or sensitive for them, you avoid that.
I always think that in Buddhism there's the idea of right intent, that it's not so much what you do, it's why you do it. So I think that's the line I would look at, is what was the intention of the speaker. If the intention was just watch things burn, then that's a line that's crossed and that should be stopped. But if maybe from their perspective they truly believe that they're saying something that's meaningful or has purpose, then that's a chance for dialogue, for discussion, to try to help that person be better rather than just to shut them down. But it really comes back to what's the intention of the speaker.
You can say, I have freedom of speech, and then say things that are based on hate and rhetoric. I think that you can disagree on how a particular issue should be described, but I think that always you need to make sure that you're not motivated in the way you describe something you're not motivated by hate or discrimination. I don't think that's freedom.
I mean, this year especially, what things that are being said that would have been entirely unacceptable 6 months ago now seem to be okay, which is upsetting. But you know, there's been articles about political candidates being possibly charged for inciting riots recently, and that never would have happened 6 months to a year ago. So yes, I think what's okay now, I think it's almost like what is exciting and controversial is becoming more appropriate than what's thoughtful and intentional, and that's a scary.
You can't know what your words are going to mean to the, hundreds of people that are out there. I think as a politician, you have an obligation to make sure that you are not using your position or your ability to have the sort of podium to denigrate other people. And I think people forget that you're in a very powerful position, and I think it is your responsibility to make sure that you are getting your ideas across. I don't agree with everything that everyone says, but that you are doing it in a way that you don't get your piece put up here by squashing down the people who may be listening to you.